here. So that should take care of everything. Yep, it does. Good. That's perfect. Now we're gonna start TikTok. So let's do that in a moment. Wait. Spotify is not picking up. What's happening here? TikTok's software is way too slow, man. Okay, now. So I should be able to start the live now over TikTok. I swear this this program is quite ridiculous. It takes ages to start anything. It eventually does, and everything starts, but... Okay, so now we are live on TikTok also, finally. I swear sometimes damn it takes to to get live on all these places. It really sucks. But okay, well, today we'll be opening one of these. Why will we be opening one of these? Well, the answer is easy. I don't want to sell this unless it is for a big discount, but you can see that the box sadly came damaged. I received a few more of them. They are quite in good condition, but not this one. Right? This one really... Well, yeah, it came damaged. No need to to try and make it beautiful. Like it came damaged. That's it. I think the cards inside will be fine because, as you can see, the box suffered, but probably the cards are fine. Probably. But this means I'll be opening this one for myself because I don't want to be sending this out to anyone and potentially someone receiving something in bad state, right? So this will be me opening it, and yeah, we'll be doing that basically today. Actually, let's do something. Let's change this for this, and then we have the One Piece in here. But yeah, so that's basically what we're going to do today, is open this One Piece. And of course, if anyone has any questions or wants to, I don't know, ask me anything, you can quickly find my website here in the bio. If you're following on Twitch or YouTube, then, well, you just have to ask, of course, and I can send over the link. But overall, yeah, feel free to come by, ask any questions. Thanks for joining, of course, for coming live to my live, and let me know if there's anything you want to know. Probably at some point I'll be going over my collection of PSAs. I do have a few of them, so we've been going over them lately. I'll spend some more time today showing you guys every one of them. Also, while TikTok is not yet fully established in Europe, meaning we don't have the shop, Whatnot is. So that means that sometime, maybe not today, but within the next few days, I will be doing some light Whatnot. Light meaning a few hours here and there, but nothing too crazy. With the whole idea of promoting bids over there. Bids meaning auctions, right? Meaning people, well, bidding for items. It's mainly the platform will be a way to let myself known. It won't be my main way of selling, right? I really don't want to make Whatnot my main website, let's say. I do have a website and I want to keep my website being the place where you can find me. And that's quite important. It's quite important because on my website I can offer good prices. So you can check. My Japanese boxes are maybe not the cheapest, but one of the cheapest you can find around. Depends on which box, of course. You might find something cheaper somewhere else, but no big difference. And for most of them, I am the cheapest. So that's something I can do on my website, right? I can do that on my website, but I cannot do that somewhere else. Meaning, if I do that on Whatnot, if I do that on TikTok, there's a big commission that I cannot really... I have to charge to customers, sadly. So my website's still the main place where you can go and check my prices, check my product. Because yes, that is the best way. Meaning if you want something now on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, we're on all three places, you let me know and we can arrange something. You can pay through the website, by the way, properly, securely. I am a business, registered business, everything is safe. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that. You'll also find me on eBay, by the way. I've been lately putting some things up for sale on eBay. Nothing too crazy. So nothing too crazy. Everything is quite the norm as expected. So you can find some boosters actually. You can find some auctions for things like 151. I have one running now from 150 for 115. You can find mystery bundles. That's something I'm now starting to do. What are my mystery bundles? That's important to explain and show. Don't worry about the focus, we'll get it right now. That's the cool thing about my camera, if you can see. I can manually zoom in and out. The manual part, okay, that's not so good, but the rest is good. So what's a mystery bundle? Well, my mystery bundles are a bit different from the ones you normally would find. Reason is, normally mystery bundle means everything is up to fate. You might get something that's not really valuable, you might get shit basically, right? You might get not good things. And I really don't want my mystery bundles to be like that. So the way I'm bundling things is, you have some guarantees. You know you're getting these 4 packs. So my mystery bundles, you know you always get 4 packs, no matter what. Right, it's Paradise Dragona, which nowadays, you won't believe it, but nowadays Paradise Dragona has doubled its price. Apparently, well, it was said that no one wanted. There was a lot of hype around it for obvious reasons, Paradise Dragona should have been about dragons. And yes, I know, strictly speaking, Alone Executor is a dragon. But you get my point. I think it's undervalued. Well, it's not now, it was undervalued. Now it's twice the price it went for before. So it's definitely an interesting option in the bundle. Same thing for the Charizard set. That's the ruler of the black frame. That's the name in Japanese. It was a sleeper, honestly. For a while it was selling really cheap on Japan. Nowadays, again, it's out of stock everywhere and people are really looking out for it. Like, there's Charizard inside. That's all you need to know. Raging Surf, I think also some really good cards inside. Your chases being the Garchomp and the Grandon. And Violet Eggs, because, well, Miraidon, you have a really good Miraidon inside here. And I know for a fact it's a popular card, people want it. So you have these 4 things. You always will have these 4 things. That's important. Then the mystery bundles always include 4 AR cards. AR, that's the illustration rares in English. So you always get 4 ARs in the mystery bundle. You don't know which ones, obviously, but you always get 4 of them. Larvesta, Kecleon, Dugtrio, and Mesprit in this one, for example. Right? And then you get either a SR or an SAR, so special illustration rate or the non-golden version of it. In this case, for example, you would get a special illustration rate on this mystery bundle. That's actually from the Terrestrial Festival, so that's from the new set. It's one of the hits. It's not an evolution, obviously, but it is one of the main hits. And then to top it up, you get some bulk. Not everyone is a fan of bulk, I know. But you do get some bulk in case you're interested in that. So good to know. Good to know. You can check that. It's live on eBay right now. So you can get one of those from eBay right now. Or you can choose and wait a bit for my whatnot, basically. Shortly now I'll be doing whatnot. So if you follow me on whatnot, you can also get all of these from there. Definitely worth the time, definitely worth the effort. Definitely more expensive than going through my own website. I won't lie to you guys. I won't lie to you, that's my policy. No lying, no scalping, no price gouging. So if you see my website, you'll see that all my prices are quite realistic. Of the best, I would say even. So I won't lie to you guys. My prices on eBay, on whatnot, on every place but my own website are more expensive because they have to cover the fees from those platforms. So hey, if you want anything, I would encourage you to go over the website and not through any of the other platforms. Of course, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, right? So I cannot force you to do one or the other. I know it might be more convenient for you to go through whatnot or through eBay or whatever it is, then okay, sure, I understand. But please know that my website is cheaper than any of those. And yeah, you want cheap. Everyone wants cheap, it's normal. So again, please feel free to check on my website. Feel free to ask me any question should you want to know how things are done. Important, well, you can see here on my, well, I guess here if you're on Twitch or YouTube, and somewhere in here, well, you know, here, sorry. It's a bit difficult to get that right. Here if you are on TikTok, you can see that I do basically both live openings and sealed. So you're always free to get the product as sealed. We don't have to open it live here. You can open it yourself at home, at your own rate, looking at the cards, the typical. Of course, if you want to open live, and that's the important thing, and that's what you have here on my left, if you want to open it live, then you get some additional perks, right? So you have things like discounts on the store. So there are sometimes some discounts that you can get. The discounts currently can only be gotten through Twitch, so that's important. But by all means, you can get discounts from all places, not only Twitch. You can ask me, we can work it out. Discounts are for individual packs. If you want a whole box, then please know that I'm not doing discounts for that. Whole boxes are as close as I can to the it's the price that I get them for. So that has no discounts. But for anything else, please know that you will have discounts. I actually wanted to do something today, which is sent a message to a guy over YouTube who yesterday found me, and my prices were not right. I had the wrong prices over shipping, meaning the poor guy saw my shipping prices and ran away. And that's normal. That's normal because my shipping to the UK was wrongly set up. And it was telling him prices that are way too above what I really do. So I was wondering if there is any way to message him. I was hoping so, but maybe not. Probably not, from what I'm seeing. And that's a pity. And that's a pity because my prices were really not that bad. Huh. So I should go find him. It would be amazing to be able to message people, but I guess that's not something you can do on YouTube. What a pity, because that one's screwed up then. Oh, my keyboard's struggling to write? Wait, what? Ah, no, okay, that was me. Sure. So I don't know if anyone knows about this, or anyone is a fan of them. I mean, I definitely am, right, for obvious reasons. I'll show in a moment what I mean, because I'm speaking without showing, so... Let me show you. This is my keyboard, right? I don't know if any one of you uses this kind of keyboards. They called split keyboard. I'm in love with them, and you basically get one hand for each set of keys, and then you really have to type with both hands. Like, you have no choice but to do it, because, well, both of them are split, so you cannot really go from one place to the other. So can I or can I not private message someone? I guess I cannot. Ah, that's a pity. So I just realized today that my shipping prices to the UK made no sense. They are fixed now, and my shipping prices are back to normal. But really, they were way too high. Many reasons why, and I won't go into detail now. But they are fixed, so I'm back to having the correct prices for UK, which is good because I actually have a lot of people visiting me from the UK. Lots of them. So, having the right prices is a must. I'm happy that's fixed now. That does mean that, well, I cannot get back to the one guy who got scared, basically. I think I was setting the lowest amount for shipping to something like 25 or 30 pounds, which is kind of crazy. It's way above the price that that it costs to ship to the UK. So with that fixed and back to normal, it's a whole different story. See, that's what I was saying. So someone bid for my 151 box over eBay, which I'm happy for. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that's happening. But really, that's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. Because you can get the exact same thing from my website for 15 less euros. And while I'm happy that people are doing that over eBay and buying, they are paying the eBay fee. Right? If I sell through my website, there is like 10% off the price because that's what eBay charges. So yeah, don't do that. There's many websites that have similar names to mine, which sucks. We have Pokeka with K, with C, with .eu, .nl. There's like many of them. But mine still has the best prices. So there you go. Though it's not bad prices now that I'm seeing it. It really is not. Okay, we have an ad coming now over Twitch, which means we'll do, well now, in 5 minutes, which means we'll do a brief ad break. And after the ad break, I'll be immediately back, of course. They've got nice things going on that page. Still believe that mine are a bit cheaper, honestly. But hey, they've got nice prices going on. Where's my paradigm trigger, for example? Yeah, mine's way cheaper. Ooh, okay, way cheaper. Okay, this one they win. It's a mixed bag of prices. Some of them are nice, but some of them are a bit expensive. Okay, so again, in 3 minutes, brief ad break while Twitch goes into ads. I just don't want to let the people on Twitch not see or hear what we're talking. So, brief break. And as soon as that's over, we'll continue here, of course. And again, you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, eBay, whatnot in a few days, hours, etc. But mostly for your own good, use the website. Prices are way cheaper. It's still safe payment through Stripe, basically. So, yeah. Please use that. But I'm honestly happy on eBay. I'm getting already some bits on some boxes, so I might as well put some more. I have, for example, a few Ruler of the Black Frame, and I do wonder how much that is selling for right now on eBay. Because if I'm guessing right, it's going to be selling for more. So that's Ruler of the Black Flame booster box, indeed. 110. Wait, what? That must be a joke, right? Wait, let me go to sold objects. Yeah, 110 makes no sense, by the way. That's a Korean booster box, okay, sure. 69, 66, 69, 58, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. Those are not exorbitant prices, they actually make sense. Let me quickly check how much I'm selling it for. 55. Okay, so it's still a bit cheaper. 110. What the heck? $80 plus 15 shipping. Some are really expensive, man. Like, what the heck? Yeah. People on eBay buy things way overpriced. It's a pity, but okay. Again, like if I sell on eBay, I do have to sell for more than I would normally, for a simple reason, and that's the fees that eBay charge. So it's not like I have much of a choice here. Okay, so brief break for ads on Twitch, and I'll be back in a quick moment. Here on Twitch, I don't have on TikTok. Sorry, I don't have any screen that shows me not being here, but we'll use this one.
Whitaker, everybody. I wasn't looking for action, just some distraction, just a little weeknight within the back. I wasn't looking for romance, just a quick slow dance on the off chance that an off night beside glance might lead me to the road. I wasn't looking for you. I wasn't after forever.
Hey, hey, hey! How are you? Wait, you came to Resap? How are you doing? You just came that I was gone for a moment. Good. So here I'm doing good, honestly. I was just with my wife and and the baby that doesn't want to sleep today. But other than that, good. How are you feeling? Oh, it's been a long time, right? Many things happened on the whole Pokemon cards world. I suppose you've been following on the English, but the Japanese is not much better, honestly. Big stress. Same or something new came. It's becoming better. Well, I'm glad. You know, with that, if there's anything we can help with, you let us know. Huh? I mean, I really don't know what we could help with, but if there's anything, like, you just tell us. Oh, yes, I knew about the first one. Again, I'm really sorry you had to go through that. But I didn't know about the rest. When you had a car accident, are you okay? I really didn't know about that one. Honestly, I was going to... So today I was going to write you on Discord also to see how you were doing. But the car accident, that sounds serious also. Ooh, nice. Brand new car, that's always good. 2 weeks, it's almost here. And you have some job interviews and you're excited. Yeah, I bet. What are you interviewing for? I never asked you, honestly. The car is broken totally, but you sold it today. Could you sell it for parts? Maybe something like that. Or because we do have, like, my in-laws also have a car that's not fully working. It's not an accident, but it just stopped working. And they were looking to sell it by parts, basically. Because the whole car didn't really work. So I guess that's always an option. But the interviews is nice, huh? To work in the hospital and the other one will be in psychiatry. Okay, that's really good. Those are nice interviews. What do you specialize in? Do you know? Well, of course you know, but do you mind shading? That's what I want to say. But I hope you know what you specialize in or what you're doing, right? Yeah, of course, go ahead. I do have Discord opened somewhere, so feel free to... Yeah, here. So feel free to send it over Discord if you want. I mean, if you want to keep it a bit more private. Okay, I follow. Then I know it gets complicated. I have... my wife has a few friends that are not... I want to say not nurses, like it's not a nurse as you would normally fear, but they do also work in hospitals similar to nurses, and we do have a friend in common that's also that she worked on psychiatry for a while, actually. So maybe it's a bit of the same, I don't know. Not sure of the word though. And back in Spain, I had a friend, a really good friend that used to... Well, he did study for nursery, but he wanted to become an ambulance driver. So he did the whole study for nursery. And last I knew, he liked it so much that he stopped there and he didn't really pursue anymore the the ambulance, but ooh, that's the direction. Oh, that sucks. Oof, that sucks big time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's completely ripped off.
We're up in the mountains recently. This was a little bit harder.
Yeah. Okay, that really sucks. Oh wow, that's a nice car, Volkswagen. Ooh, the interiors look really really neat. Ah, wait, I didn't see that. The new car really looks amazing, by the way. Yeah, imagine if you use the car to go to work, then that sucks. Yeah, it really looks amazing. I really mean it. The car really looks amazing, and it looks bigger than the previous one, I think, right? It's a bit longer, I think, maybe. That's always nice. But yeah, if you drive to work, then of course you need to get a new car. Yeah. Yeah. Looks pretty neat. So all said, I know, not good that you had to get a new car, but hey, on the other hand, it looks really good. Like a normal Golf, yeah. Looks cool, honestly. It's automatic also, I think? Am I saying that right? Yeah, automatic. So I used to I'll be honest. I'll be pretty honest here. I never really drove much because I got the ID and everything, but I for 10 years didn't get a car. But I used to drive stick, like manual, and I used to say no to automatic cars, like no. And honestly, here in Belgium, we went for automatic, and man, I will never look back to manual. It's so much better. Like here, it's constantly we're constantly stuck in traffic. It's really bad in Belgium. Like you constantly are in traffic. Not having to constantly switch gears. Yeah, thank God. Paperwork takes 2 weeks, sadly. Ooh, okay. So it's 2 weeks of paperwork. It's not for the car. Like the car is ready, but you need 2 weeks for the paperwork and everything. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, no, honestly, I used to drive manual. Not many times I drove, and I really liked it. And maybe still the feeling of the stick is nice, you know. But yeah, automatic is just way nicer. You forget about it, and yeah. But no, I imagine a brand new car, you know, it goes smooth. Also, like it's good. It really is good. Oh yeah, congrats on the new car, honestly. No worries, man. Yeah, he's really good, honestly. I think we're lucky. He's not really grumpy. He doesn't cry a lot. Like, he only cries if he wants to eat. Like, overall, we're really lucky so far. Today he was a bit fussy with sleeping. He really didn't want to sleep. I was trying to stream for a bit, and my wife trying to get him to sleep. Didn't work so good. But now he's finally sleeping. But honestly, I think we're really lucky. He sleeps for like 4 hours, 5 hours even during the night, and like no complaints. So that's amazing. That's also the main reason I'm back to streaming a bit. because I feel like I can spend the time here, right? If he was constantly sleepy, crying and everything, like I wouldn't be able to. We're doing good. We're doing good. I mean, we could sleep more. My wife could sleep more, honestly. She's waking up every time that the kid needs something on the night. Like, it's only once or twice, but you know, then you don't sleep the whole night entirely, and that kind of sucks. But other than that, we're doing good. My wife still has like 2 months and a half of time off, so that's good. That's not the same for me, sadly. I'm going back to work next Wednesday. I'm a bit bummed by that, I'll be honest. I feel like I will miss out on the kid and everything, so I'm a bit bummed by going back to work so early. But we'll manage. So a bit bummed by that, but overall, won't complain. Is April doing well also for you? If anything, my only complaint, if I can call it complaint, I guess, the whole Pokemon cards are getting crazy. So yeah, that's my only complaint basically. She's supporting me the whole time. Yeah, that's really nice, man. I'm glad you have her and that she is supporting you. Really glad. I mean, I don't know her, of course, but she seems like a really good person, so... Yeah, I mean, of course, you can watch streams or me or whoever whenever you want. It's obviously not the first priority, right? I think April wrote me at some point about the modes, basically. Asking if it was okay to postpone of course it's okay, right? So family health first. That's always first. So no worries at all. It's perfectly normal. But yeah. And yes, Pokemon cards are going crazy. English, obviously. Like, I don't need to say anything about English. We all know about prismatic evolutions. We all know about twice and 3 times the MSRP. Like, they are selling for 120. I saw 150. I saw 180 at the point it was like the craziest. So yeah, no need to speak about English. But Japanese is no better. But I've not opened any prismatic. I'll be honest. I don't want to pay the prices that currently cost, so I've not bought any. I could have, but I've not. But from what I've read, theoretically, the pull rates are double the previous ETB. I don't know, because I've also been reading all the complaints online and everyone's saying that you cannot get any shit out of them. So I'm divided. But what I've heard is that the pull rates are good, but there are so many things to pull that pulling the evolutions is really hard, right? I don't know if that's true or not, honestly. Until I open some myself, I don't really know if that's true or not. If I have to go by gut feeling and by the posts from most people, then pull rates are scam, yes. Yes, I did. That's not healthy. Like, 2k for a I know it's a Moonbryon, I know there's a lot of hype around that Pokemon, no matter which set, which anything, like people are paying crazy amounts. But 2K, that's really not healthy. Thing is, I guess you cannot really pull it yourself because no one is buying Prismatic, and whoever is buying at 3 times the MSRP. So they are really scarce. Like you cannot, like demand is high and offer is really low. And sure that explains, but still, that's really crazy. The last day we had, I'm not about here in the chat, he was asking for the prices of the Sylveon because he wanted one Sylveon. I was like, well, let's check. I bet they went down. Man, that Sylveon is crazy expensive now. It's behind the Umbreon. I was not expecting that, but yes, it is behind the Umbreon, and it is way too expensive. I think we were saying like 120 or 140 ungraded. I was not expecting that. Japanese, of course. If you look for the English one, that's even more. So yeah. Yeah, they are printing money. I'm really upset though with the whole thing, because I wrote that on Discord. I don't know if you saw, but my distributor for English cancelled all of the orders for Prismatic, for the ATVs. All of them, no exceptions, because they got zero stock. I'm really mad about that. And now the Pokemon Company promised to print more. But I'll be honest, if they print more and they allocate the same way they did now, it's going to suck again. It's not going to be better. We need something more than just printing. We need printing and allocating as you should. Because otherwise, this is not really going to work. So, yeah, I don't know. I still have with them all my pre-orders for the mini teens, for the Bastel bundles. Like, I have many orders still with them, but yes, if indeed trying to get any product out of any, I won't say big, but known website, it's close to impossible. Like it really sucks. It really sucks. All the bots are buying everything. And it's not only English. The Japanese market is the same. If you try to buy anything, like it doesn't have to be the booster boxes, it can be anything. You're screwed. The bots will outbuy you. In Japanese, we're also seeing 2 times and 3 times the price for some things. Terastal is as crazy as it was before. It didn't improve. The new set already from launch was like 100. So it sucks big time. Let me check. This was sold within seconds. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Pokemon Center, right? Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's stupid. No, you can't. But the thing is, again, do you know how it works on the Japanese side? So, the Japanese website, if you want to get any new product, the way it works is they announce it, right? On day 10, at 10 a.m., the product will be open for pre-sale, right? What they do is half an hour before that, so at 9:30, they put a waiting room. Anyone who comes between 9:30 and 10 get random entry times to the website. Now, you enter to the website at 9:30, you get assigned your random spot. You go then, whenever it's your turn, it's automatic. You cannot do anything about that. You cannot reload. You can do nothing. So when it's your time, you go in. You have 10 minutes. Literally, you have 10 minutes. You have to buy within 10 minutes. And you can only buy one of each. It's checked via your username, your credit card, your address, and many more things. That works. Like, sure, they still run out of product, don't get me wrong. Like, they have still run out of everything. It still goes out of stock, but it is not this crazy nonsense of 1 second it goes out of stock. This makes no sense. And it's the freaking same company. It's the Japanese and the international, but it is the same company. So I really don't get how they can get it right on one place and not on the other. And I think they should do the same thing here in the international, right? You have a new product, you want to get it out, put a freaking waiting room, assign random times to people, and then you combat half of the bots this way. Because right now it is nonsense. You cannot get any of the Pokemon Center TVs. But we'll see. I also ordered some Journey Together from my distributor. We'll see if we get any or not. After what happened with Prismatic, I'm not hopeful, I'll be honest. I don't know, but I'm not hopeful. But let's see. I have my orders in, and I guess we'll know in a few months if that works or not. So I have pre-orders for everything, by the way. Mini tins for Prismatic, Buster Bundles, booster boxes, ETBs, everything. Prismatic is sold out. I did not pull a God pack, but mainly because people bought sealed. So I have no idea what they got. I've not opened any more Prismatic live. I did open a few things, but not Prismatic. Prismatic was completely sold out, sealed. Yeah. Lately I've had a bunch of people buying sealed. So most of the things you see are sold out or in the process of. Most of them has been sealed. Some big orders for international. So in a way it kind of sucks because I really want to do live things. On the other hand, it's nice to move some product. So, but if you look for Japanese, prices are way too expensive now. I've not changed barely any price. So only the things that I ran out of and I had to buy more of. That would be the Charizard, the Ruler of the Black Flame, and Shiny Treasures, sadly. Shiny Treasures, I had to buy more. So those went a bit up, sorry. The rest, I'm keeping the same prices as if nothing happened. Which, well, probably not a good business move, but I want to get you guys good stuff. If you do open that one booster box that you still have, please post it. Yes. No matter what you get, post the pulls. And if you get a God pack, yeah, by all means, you have to post that. But yeah. The good news, I'm not promising anything, of course, but the good news is that Prismatic Evolutions and also the new set, the Battle Partners, which I've not gotten any. Both of them will be reprinted halfway February all the way to, I don't know if it was May or April. So theoretically, if that's true, and if they really print like a lot of them, I'll be able to buy a few more of it. And hopefully for a nice price. Again, no promises, because maybe they reprint, but they don't reprint a lot. That already happened with 151, because they did reprint a few times, but the price didn't really move that much. We'll see what happens with Prismatic. If prices go a bit lower, I'm not saying like 50 euros, but if they go back to the 70 range, I'll be getting quite a few of it. And then we can open a few more. That should be like in half a month basically. I'll keep pestering my distributor to see what they are doing and if prices are going to go down or not. I'm hoping so, but I don't know. But the market is really crazy. And everyone is increasing prices because, well, yeah, there's no other way around it. It sucks though. I hope at some point they reprint the hell out of everything and we get way more things. We should know shortly now, so... But yeah. I think Terastal is the only one thing I'm sold out. Yeah. Terastal is the only thing I'm sold out of, and I didn't get any more. I honestly didn't see much point in getting more Terastal because I would have to sell at 90 or 90 something, even 100. So I thought that was way too much. I don't want to pay that price, but I also don't want you guys to pay that price, so... So yeah. I've been selling some things here in eBay also and some things, but yeah. No, yeah, imagine. A whole new car is a lot of money. And if you add all the other things, then of course, yeah, it makes all the sense. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm happy with having you here and just chatting, so don't feel like you have to buy anything. Of course, if you want to buy anything, that's a whole different story. But don't feel that you have to buy anything to be here. So I'll be happy if you do. But honestly, it's just chatting, and so to me, that's already amazing. And I'll be honest, lately I've not been opening many things for me either. I've had some people here and there watching, but not many like constant viewers, so I've also not really opened anything for me. So if I have you, maybe I'm not about, maybe a few people here, I'll go back to opening things for me. But otherwise, yeah. Yeah, by the way, I saw, I don't know if I told you, because I came back that you were already here, but I saw your resub, so yeah. Thank you for the resub, it's appreciated, it really is. And of course, yeah, resub, talking, that's all I ask for, really. It's automated. Wait. Ah, okay. I guess that makes sense. I thought you had done it with Prime, but maybe I'm confused, because I thought that Prime you could not automate the resub. Okay. Then even doubly so, thank you. Like, thank you already if it was Prime, but if you are doing one step more, then even more reason to thank you. So appreciate it. Okay, but that makes sense because I knew that Prime you could not automate the renewal. So I was wondering how. Mm-mm. Where is he? He's been on and off the stream these few days. He was streaming. I don't know if today he is, but for the few last days he's been streaming a bit here on Twitch. So I imagine playing with whoever he was streaming. I saw him, they, I guess. I saw them playing Once Human and Fortnite. So maybe playing with, they were playing with a friend or something. So I asked the other day, they are playing with a friend. So maybe same thing. But yeah, I did see them here playing on Twitch. So I imagine something like that. But still connecting, and like still coming to the chat and talking, just on and off. If we do an opening, then for sure I'll ping him on, not today, I mean, but in general. If we do an opening, then for sure I'll ping him, because I'm pretty sure they want to be here, so... But yeah, I know it's been on and off these days. I've also not been really consistent at streaming, so it all makes sense. I'm trying to go back to the old schedule, by the way. So you'll see me more constantly, like the typical Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I'm still trying to figure out the exact time I can do it. Because, you know, I'm no longer the boss of my home. Neither is my wife. Now we have a little one ordering us around, bossing us around. So I stream whenever he lets us. And normally that's night. Normally when he goes to sleep around this time, like around 11 or so. Because then I have like 4 or 5 hours that I know they're all for me. Yeah, he does, man. He does. Because I wanted to stream again somewhere in the afternoon, right? Somewhere around 5, 6. Yeah, no chance. No chance. So normally this time I'm kind of sticking to this time now. And now I'm multi-streaming also, like I'm doing at the same time YouTube, Twitch and TikTok. Just for the sake of being on more places. My internet now allows it. Like I still remember the days where it used to, you know, you were here. When it used to stop and lag and everything. And that was only with Twitch. The new router apparently does work. I'm now streaming on all 3 places and it works, so kind of surprised on that. And I just saw you subscribe on the YouTube, so thank you.
You sound beautiful, thank you.
So yeah, I'm now doing all of that at once. You know, to reach out this way I reach a few more people, and it's always nice. Had already a few people on the YouTube yesterday. Sadly, my prices for shipping to UK were wrong. And they kind of got scared out of that. Which I totally get. They were really wrong, so had to fix that. But yeah, it's nice. I'm trying to branching out here and there, having a few more people, and so yes, there was. So there was a rule a long time ago. Well, not long time ago. Half a year ago. As soon as you became affiliated, and of course partner, but yeah, affiliated comes first. You could not multi-stream. So indeed, there was a rule that forbid it, but they did a whole restructuring of basically the fees and the percentage of ads that you get paid and everything. They lowered all of it, but in exchange they allowed multi-streaming again. So now it doesn't matter if you are partner, affiliated or nothing, you can always multi-stream. Which honestly, it's good for me. Yes, indeed. So I'm not tied to Twitch in any way. The only thing is I have better integrations for Twitch because, well, the chat you see on screen, the whole thing here with the points, the commands, all of that is Twitch only. I think I could, not easily, but probably without much effort, do YouTube. TikTok, not really. But it is a way to get to more people. So that's nice. I have to step up my marketing game, honestly. I've not been doing any videos on Instagram or TikTok or anything, but I have not really had the time. I'll go back to it now these days. I'll go back to it, to doing more videos, more live openings and more of that. But it's been a bit tough. So yeah. And I have this I see you're on TikTok also. Thank you. I have discovered this thing called, well, I knew about it. I've not discovered it now. But there is this thing called Whatnot that people use to sell live. So I'll probably give it a try. I cannot do it at the same time as I do Twitch, YouTube and TikTok. I really cannot. Mainly because the Whatnot has its own built-in store. And then you have to sell through that. And they do take a big commission of doing that. So when I'm doing Whatnot, it will only be Whatnot and the prices will be higher. But it is kind of a way for me to funnel them to the website and to these other streams. So I'll probably give that a try at some point also. Some points meaning I'm already approved, so... Yeah, I know. I know there are lots of scams and whatnot. I definitely know. If you go into... There's this whole category about money, I guess. I don't know how the name is. Bullion, something like that. If you go into that, there's lots of scams. But if you go into trading cards, there's also lots of scams. I definitely know. So I'm definitely going to be really careful around Whatnot, because I don't want that to attract the wrong kind of publicity. So I know what you're saying. But definitely for me, Whatnot will just be a means to get people to the website. I don't want to make Whatnot my main method of selling or my main, focus. Not at all. It's more of a, from time to time, I'll be popping up there and doing some different things, right? So the only thing I want to use Whatnot for is kind of not mystery bundles, but kind of the surprise bidding thing. Let me see what you sent. The one thing I'm noticing though is my computer struggles a lot when I'm multi-streaming this many places. Ah, yeah, I saw this one already. Yeah, that one's crazy. That one's crazy. I don't know how someone has the audacity, I guess, to try and pull that. I think it's also like it's obvious, right? I don't know how someone does that and expects people not to realize. Because it really is obvious. The thing is, that's not... So that happened on Whatnot, but honestly, it could have happened here on Twitch, right? There's nothing preventing me, basically, or anyone else from trying to pull this stuff here anywhere else. You know, I'm not doing it. You definitely got a fair share of hits. But I still remember the first... Was your first hit the Master Ball Pikachu? I think so. I think the Master Ball Pikachu was your first hit. So I still remember that. It was. You know, I guess if I wanted to, and I definitely don't want to, and I definitely don't think at all that should be the case, but I could try and do the switch, right? It makes no sense whatsoever, and I think it's really, really easy to see. So I don't know why the guy on Whatnot expected that to go unnoticed, but yeah. But you know, there are more subtle scams on Whatnot. Like, that was not subtle at all, but I've seen one just this week. There is this wheel on screen, right? You buy an entry, and then you spin the wheel, and wherever it falls, you get the prize, right? The wheel had something like 2k entries, right? So you can imagine that the wheel is this huge thing with many slices, and you cannot read what each slice is, right? Which you would think is fine, because whenever you buy and it spins and it falls somewhere, it shows on screen, right? So you would guess that's fine, because, well, there's no trick in that. It's not me doing it. It's Whatnot. So there is no trick in it. Sure. The guy was promising that the spin, one of the entries was 1k in gold, I think, something like that, like 1k in gold, let's say. Well, there's a point when there's only 100 entries left on the wheel that the guy says something about taking a quick break, blah blah blah, and suddenly the wheel, out of nowhere, has one more slice appearing in a different color. And guess what that one slice was? The 1k gold. So there is scams. The guy went for 1k and a half spins with no big prize, and then when there were only 100 left, he put the big prize in there so that it no longer was worth it for people. And I think each slice is a different color, and normally it's yellow. He was unlucky enough to have it pop in purple. Was it yellow? No one would have noticed. So it really is a bad place. That's why I don't want to make Whatnot my main store, my main selling point, because yeah, it's full of shady things, like really shady things. So for me, Whatnot is more of a... It's still starting in Europe. It's not big yet. There's many people who are just discovering Whatnot, so it's my way of funneling them to Twitch, to YouTube, to TikTok, even if you want, but mostly my website, away from Whatnot, just in case. But definitely don't go over Whatnot. You would do way better just going here on Twitch on some random guy than Whatnot. So yeah, they made me sit. So I was applying to Whatnot to sell things. They made me sit through a 45-minute introduction video, not video, live call through Zoom in French. I understood 0 out of what they said. it was just a guy showing the random menus on the website and how to go live and things, and then they approves me. So that's the level of verification, I guess, that they do. It's just some Zoom video where they explain you the menus and how to go live, and then they approve you. Nice. So Whatnot has legit people, has people that really, you can trust. It's also full of scammers. And since it's focused on selling, it's way easier. Like, you could do the same thing on Twitch, right? But Twitch is not focused on selling, so getting people to see you is harder. Whatnot, at the end of the day, it is for that. So, yeah. Crazy stories over Whatnot. If you want to have a laugh, go over the subreddit for Whatnot and read all the stories and all the hate and all the drama that's going on. Because it really is amazing. It really is amazing. You know what? Since you're here today, and I have not really opened anything in a while, I'll open something for me. I don't know why Windows tries always to move everything to my left screen when I want it, right here. Pikachus. No, there are no Pikachus here. Like, believe it or not, I still have the same box I had before open. I have not opened a new box yet. It's still the same. It's still the same Stellar Miracle. Wait. I know this was here. I've not even gone through that box yet. Between not doing many streams and the ones I did not opening anything, this happened. Wait, am I missing? What is this one? What did I do with that? Huh. I think I just moved them, right? Man. No, that makes sense. Yes. Wait. It is. Of course it is. It's been standing here from the very first day you sent that. Yes, I love it. I really do. I really do. Like, the whole card is really amazing. I love the colors, I love the CLV, I love the whole details, like, yes. It's been there the whole time. So it's not moved at all. And it will be here the whole time, trust me. Yeah, you would think for someone selling Pokemon cards and saying that they love Celebi, they would own some Celebi. I guess not. So it really was my first Celebi. Graded or not graded, like literally it's my first Celebi. So yeah, it's been there and it will stay there. So I'll go with my old tradition of opening 3. Truth be told, I could open way more than 3 now because it's been so long. But let's open 3 of them at least. I don't think this box has many things left in it, by the way. Like, I'm expecting at most some illustration rare, some AR. I'm not expecting anything else, really. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't think so. Phalanx, the fossil, and right horn. No, Reparior, sorry. Oh. So nothing here, just a holo. It's been so long. I'm forgetting names of Pokemon. Double. Grabbing. Comfy. Rotom, and Vikavolt. So, looking like I'll get nothing. Maybe I'm wrong. Looking, this one I'm not about would like. Chutel, Comfy again, Fallings again, and Marowak. So that's my luck, guys. We all know that if I'm opening things for others, it usually goes better than if I'm opening things for me. I know there's no such thing. I mean, the boxes I have are the boxes I have, but I somehow manage to always pick the good ones for others. I really wanted to open some of the Journey Together, like the new, not Journey Together, sorry, Battle Partners, that the Japanese one. But the prices suck. I ended up not getting any because it really sucks, the prices. I also got rid of the chroma, as you can see, because I was really tired of adjusting the chroma. Every freaking time I wanted to stream, the chroma was looking worse and worse and worse, and I said, screw it. So now you see the mess behind me, and I don't care. I know it's a bit blurred, but yeah, I really got tired of that.
And I would go so far as to say that music is magic, especially music in this live setting, where we're all together, we can hear each other, we can smell each other.
I thought some English too, not many things, and not good things, sadly. Yes, that's my, I guess, yes, office and home. I work I don't know how to talk anymore. I work from home 2 or 3 days a week. So, well, this is basically the same chair I stand on to work. Then I have here on my left, it's my wife's computer. There's a small like sofa here. This big pile here that you see, these are all the boxes basically. So I know it doesn't look like it, but this is all boxes. Booster boxes, I mean. And there are more than it looks like. Yeah. And then you cannot see, but off the camera there is some, we call it space for hobbies basically. It's a table with, you know, a sew machine, a mini plotter, a kind, you know, a few things to just play. It's my wife mostly using that part. But yeah. This is my office. I kind of wanted to have a few more things here. Yes, that is a mudkip. Yeah, from Japan actually. These are from Japan, but yes, we have a mudkip. It's bigger than it looks like it's like my face. So yes, we have a mudkip. It came from Japan with us. It was kind of a, I don't know if the best decision, because it came in a, you know, in the luggage in the plane, so it used quite a bit of space. But yes, it's cute as fuck. So my wife couldn't resist it. Like, this was my wife. There was a big box with all plushes. She saw the mudkip and she was like, we're getting that one. So we got a mudkip. And then there's this little Charmander. This one is from the Pokemon Center. I don't know if it says so. Ah, yeah. So this one's from the Pokemon Center. Can you see? No, it's blurring it. What? But this little guy is from the Pokemon Center. I definitely went for something a bit smaller than what my wife went for. And we've not taken it out of the package. But wait, let me show you. There's one more thing we got from Japan. That was a long time ago, by the way. We went to Japan last March. So, yeah. This one's still on the plastic. But this is for basically for kids. So back then we didn't yet have any kid, of course, or plans for kid. Well, plans yes, but you know. But we're like, why not? Like in the future, if you know, we have a kid, we'll have one of these. So it's a little cute Eevee for kids. Right? It's cute. It's cuter than the previous ones. It really is for kids. So yeah. Also from the Pokemon Center. We couldn't resist it. We had to get it. So we have this little Eevee. It's still on the plastic because, well, still he's too little still for this. But of course, as soon as he's trying to reach for things and, you know, actually doing something with the hands, then he's getting the plushie. Oops. I really cannot recommend it enough. If you're into Japanese culture, or simply you want to experience something really like completely different, basically, I really cannot recommend it enough. It's worth it. That's all I can say. I'm not kidding that my wife and I, like, we know we cannot go yet because the little one, but we're already making plans to go back. We really loved it. And that's with my wife not being a huge Pokemon fan. Like, she likes Pokemon. But it's just the whole culture, the whole thing, basically. It's really worth it. We had a really good time when we went. So yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. We walked way too much when we went there, like way too much. I don't even want to admit how much, but we were doing in the order of 20 kilometers a day. We ended up walking 300 kilometers in like 3 weeks. So definitely you can take it easier than that. But yeah. What is the best time? Oh, that's a really tricky question. So we went March because we wanted to see the sakuras, right? We wanted to see the cherry blossom. We should have been right in time to see it entirely for the whole trip, but then we had a cold front and the whole thing got delayed. So we did see the sakuras blooming, but it was more like the last week, 4 days. If you can go for that, I honestly would. 2 reasons. One, because the weather is nice. Maybe it's a bit chilly, maybe it's a bit cold, but the weather is still nice. You don't get many rain, you get nice time, you know, sun. It's a good time to go, even if you don't get cherry blossoms. If you get the cherry blossoms on top, then that's always, you know, amazing. That said, it is really expensive to go during cherry blossom. Well, not really expensive, but it is more expensive than going some other time. So if you want to save money, cherry blossom is not really the time. I wouldn't go summer. I wouldn't. At some point I want to, but it wouldn't be my first option because the weather is really like, it's really humid. Really humid, it's really hot, and if you're not used to really humid, really hot, and that's not really the thing here in Europe, it can get quite exhausting. Honestly. My next, like, for me then it's first March, but my next best option would be autumn. I don't know exactly when in autumn, but my next option would be autumn. There's this whole maple trees. I don't know if you saw, like, it's a typical photo of Japan with orange colors. That must be amazing also. So now we went for, you know, cherry blossom. I want to go see the maple trees next. And if you're really into temples and shrines and all those kind of things, there are many, especially around Kyoto, that during autumn they do night seeings where they use lights and these big, lights to kind of do, how do I call that? Well, they play with lights, and then you see the maple trees in the orange and reddish colors. Like it's really good, and you get the experience of the temple with the autumn tones. So it must be a really incredible experience. The not so good part about going in autumn is weather, because you're going to be there in basically is it hurricane. I think that's the word in English. Hurricane. So you're going to be there in hurricane season. So yeah, it might be windy. It might be windy, but if you don't mind windy, then it's good. And I do prefer windy than rainy. Summer is rain season, autumn is hurricane season, and it really looks nice. And if you're into cold and you don't mind cold and you like snow, winter is also really, really beautiful. I've seen some pictures from basically these last 2 weeks, and it looked amazing. With all the snow, everything white, it really looks amazing. But then I think it's a different kind of trip. I'm really into the cities, the culture, the temples, all of that. I don't think that's what you go for in winter. In winter, I think it's more about then the maybe forest and these kind of things. So I cannot really speak for USA. I only was in Utah, in Salt Lake City, and honestly, I didn't like it. But then again, Salt Lake City, it's not really... There's nothing there, honestly. So I guess if you go to the big cities, you go to New York, you go to, I don't know, Washington, Chicago, like the typical ones, maybe that's worth it. But to me, it's simply... I would go again to Japan before going to the US. So, well, that's my opinion at least. And then, yeah. If I can go cherry blossom, nice weather, nice everything. If not autumn, if not winter, if not summer, I guess. Maybe summer before winter? I don't know. But the thing I like about Japan is that you can go to any kind of experience, right? If you like cities, and I do, you can go to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and you can lose yourself in I don't know, so many different things. Just Tokyo, we spent 7 days in Tokyo, and not a single day was like the previous one. Like one day you're in the middle of a forest inside Tokyo, and the next day you're in the middle of the, Akihabara, the whole lights and technology and everything. And yeah, even 7 days felt short to do it. So but then we had some friends that really they are more of a hiking nature thing, and they went for hikes. And it was also amazing. The photos they showed us, they looked, breathtaking, amazing. So you really get a bit of everything, and you can choose, basically. The one experience I have still not done in Japan, and I want to do, if you go to the southern parts, so I guess west-south, there is this whole natural hot baths. So you have a river, and then in the side you have hot baths. They are natural, they are there. I want to do that. I've seen photos of a few spots, places. It looks like a really amazing experience. I need to do that once in my life. So I need to do that. And of course the islands, you have Hokkaido, you have a bunch of islands that are really a must, but yeah. Someday. Yeah, indeed. There is a lot of stuff to see and visit, and well, I guess everywhere, right? But in Japan, you really don't run out of options. We planned this huge trip, and we were constantly deleting things because we didn't have time. And it was always not a fight, but a whole discussion of should we delete this or this? Should we not see this or this? Should we spend one more hour here or just try and run and go somewhere? And yeah. We kind of have another trip planned already without having to do it. And just by looking over the things we ended up removing. So it's really amazing. Full disclosure, I know people who went to Japan and didn't like it. So that can happen, huh? It didn't happen to me, but I do know people that went there and was like, no like. One of the, for me, best things about Japan is the food. It's really good and it's really cheap. And if you're anything like me, I eat a lot, so it was amazing. But then again, I've heard people saying, it's all fried. There's no vegetables. I tried to get bread and I didn't find any. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, maybe. But deal with it. You're in Japan. Enjoy the rest of things that are really good over there. Is it true that people... Yeah, it's true. It's not hard to find a trash bin. You won't find a trash bin. It's simple as that. You won't find a trash bin. So when we traveled there, our backpack had a bag basically. We put the bag inside. Waterproof in the sense that they did not spill. And anything we did, like, I don't know, if you buy something, for example, and you eat it somewhere, you have the whole wrapping that went into our backpack, into the bag, and it traveled with us. Yeah, it traveled with us. The only places you have trash bins, normally, in convenience stores. So if you go to convenience stores and you buy something and you eat it there, then you normally have a trash bin in there where you can throw it. There is water or, soda vending machines. Those have trash bins for bottles only. And those you can use. And sometimes, but sometimes means almost never, the bus stops have trash bins, but almost never. So you travel with your garbage, and that's fine. Then you get to your hotel. The hotel has trash bins, so you throw it in the trash bin. And the thing is, if it's full, you don't worry at all. You take the bag out. You leave it outside of your room, so outside of your door, basically. And they'll come pick it up next morning, and that's it. But on the street, you won't find trash bins. It's a different experience. Yeah. And for example, like, you don't normally see it, but we as European like to have coffee, right? And we basically were working a lot. We were sleeping 7 hours, which is okay, but we were way too tired. So every morning we had to get a coffee, right? We had to. You can get coffee in convenience stores. That's amazing, by the way. Like, you go to a 7-Eleven, you go to a Family Mart, and you buy coffee from machines. Like, you go to the counter, you tell the guy I want a coffee, they give you the cup, and then you go to the machine yourself, push the buttons, coffee. But then of course you're left with the, coffee mug. And you're walking around. You cannot drink or eat while walking. I mean, you can, but people will look really bad at you. It's considered like really, I want to say rude, basically, because you risk throwing something to other people. So yeah, rude, don't. You stop, you drink, you eat, whatever, but then by the end of it, you're left with the cup of coffee with still probably the cream or some coffee left over, and you have nowhere to throw it. So that's where the waterproof bag is important, because normally every day we were left with 2 coffee mugs or 4 or whatever many we had, and nowhere to throw them. So, yeah. So no trash bins, and you really have to play around that. It's part of their culture. Like, you won't see trash bins, but you won't see people either trashing or making trash in general. So no, it's spotless. Like, it's spotless. Sorry, like, you won't see any trash. And I mean it. I didn't see any trash. I didn't see... One of my main complaints about Barcelona, basically. So I really like Barcelona. I want to move back at some point. But my main complaint is... And I hope it was not the case with you, so bear with me. But there's plenty of dog poop everywhere. I'm okay with pee. I know it is what it is, but there was plenty of dog poop everywhere in Barcelona, like everywhere. You don't see any of that in Japan, like any of that. It's crazy, not even that. Yes, indeed, and you have trash everywhere, and the smell, and it's awful. In Japan, and I mean it, I didn't see anything on the streets. Like, they were beyond clean. Beyond clean. It's a cultural thing. Like, if you see people going to convenience store to buy something to eat, they normally eat it right outside of the store, and it goes immediately in the trash. If you see someone eating at some park, and you do, you see that they eat, they pack everything back together, they put it somewhere, and they bring it with them. Like, I didn't see anyone trashing anything. Not to say that they are perfect. I'm sure if you look for it, you'll see trash. And you'll see not clean streets and everything. But honestly, without looking for that specifically, if you just go about your day normally, I didn't see anything. So yeah. Quite amazing. I guess it's deep in their culture, the way of doing things, and it shows. It definitely shows it's a clean place, and it shows that they care for it, they care for how it looks, and they want it to look good. Yep. The one thing that surprised me about Japan, well, I knew about it beforehand, so not really... Maybe it's not a surprise, but the realization once you are there, it's a really cash-based society. Like, many things still go through, cash. Be it the money or be it bills, but still many things go through cash. Many restaurants, especially if you go to good restaurants and more on the traditional side, only accept cash. Many things still are only cash. Like, the most stupid example, and it is a stupid example, but to take the train or to take the metro, the underground, you can use these prepaid cards, right? I think I have mine still. So still I have mine, wait. Because I keep it as a treasure. This. So this is a prepaid card. Basically, you can use it for trains, for bus, for any kind of transport, right? The stupid thing about this, you can only recharge it with cash. So we as foreigners, what we did is go to a 7-Eleven, the same place where you get coffees, food, newspapers. You also have an ATM inside, because why not? It's the only ATM that was free to use for us, no fees. So you go inside, you take cash out of your credit card, then you go to the same machine, you put this one, you put the cash back in, and you charge the prepaid card. And that's the only way to do it. So it was kind of funny to always do this whole process of put your credit card, take cash out, put this one in, push cash, put the cash in, and charge the card. So it was really fun, the whole thing. But yeah, many places only accepted cash. And I'm saying restaurant because that's the easy one. But many more places only accepted cash. And you have a clear cash only paper outside. So yeah, quite fun. Real never uses cash, only phone or card. You're more into cash. I used to be more into cash. Like I used to like cash because I think you have more control about what you spend and how, right? Maybe it's more tangible. Like when you pay, you feel it. So and you run out of it. So it's kind of you feel the pain of using that money. But lately I've become lazy. The main reason is I don't have anything, no ATMs around me, what I can take cash off without fees. I have to walk for 25 minutes to have somewhere I can take, like I can get cash off without paying fees. And it's been like this for the last 5 years, 6 years. So I've kind of leaned into the no cash, card or phone only. Because yeah, I don't want to walk 30 minutes every time I've spent my cash. Yeah, it's a true pain. Indeed, the true pain in the in the good meaning, maybe, right? In the way that you're about to do it and you're like, wait, that's one too much today. Stop. And with the card, you can, you just tap and that's it. So yeah. But I really used to be cash only. And if I didn't have to walk 30 minutes to get cash, then I probably would still be cash only. In Japan, you quote unquote have to be cash only. You could survive with only credit cards. And I had a few people that went there and survived with credit cards only, but you're going to miss many good experiences. You're going to miss many places that they don't accept credit card. So you want to bring cash with you. Also, fun thing. Know your conversion rate by heart, meaning try to remember how much €1 is worth in yens or the other way around. Because there was this time that we were kind of rushing from one place to another and we're like, oh, but we need money. We had spent everything, so we quickly went to the 7-Eleven to get some money. And I kind of forgot the conversion rate and I wanted to get €100 and I got 1k out of the machine. It kept spitting money out, and I was like, wait, that's not 100, right? And when it was all out, I counted and was like, oh, fuck me. So yeah, I went with 1k around, which is fine. I mean, I didn't feel any less secure for working with 1k around. But yeah, I was working with 1k around Japan because I messed up the conversion rate. And that does happen. But yeah, really, I didn't feel any less secure for working with 1k around. I didn't go anywhere shady either. I'm sure you can go to some back alley where you wouldn't want to go with 1K, even in Japan. But definitely, yeah, that can happen. So try to remember. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure there's many people working with 1K around. But to me, it was mostly the feeling of I want 100. That means I have to get, I think it was 100, it's basically 1K yen. Sorry, 10K yen. Wait, no. Yes, 10K yen, more or less. It's a bit more nowadays. And I messed it up and I get 100K, so yeah, happens. The machine doesn't ask how many euros you want, it asks how many yens you want, and rushing at that moment I was like, 100, right? 100K, yeah, sure, give me. Indeed. So nowadays the conversion rate is 0.0063. So if you want 100, it's 16300, more or less. But the ATM, well, it does give you that if you want. But normally, if you don't want to go through sub menus and clicking 1,000 things, it gives you a few examples, right? Like 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K. And I think I just went for the 100K directly without realizing that, oh, yeah, that's probably a bit too much for one day. But sure. Restaurant, I'm not kidding. For the equivalent of 15 euros, so 15, not 50, 15. Both my wife and I ate and were full. It was so damn good. We went to, there are two places that for me were the top ones. The first day, not the first, but the second maybe, we were walking, we were like following Google Maps. Google Maps is amazing in Japan. We were following Google Maps, trying to get to one place. There was a queue of at least 30 people. We were like, oh no. We went to the next place, 30 people queuing, next place, 20 people queuing. Like, get used to that. In Japan, especially big cities, there's big queues outside of restaurants. And they go quick, by the way, like 20 people is not 5 hours of waiting, it's like an hour maybe at most. So they go quick, but there are big queues. But you know, we were on a tight schedule, right? So we wanted to get to many places. We couldn't afford an hour of waiting. So we kept, going into streets and blah, blah, blah. And at some point we ended up in some, not traditional street, but one of those that you look at it and are like, this is old. So we just went over that street. We saw this one place. It had a few like fake food outside, so you could see what you could order. Not the most convincing, honestly, but we were hungry. We were on a tight schedule and went like, let's go in. I swear, that was amazing. We got a don. That's basically these bowls with rice and veggies on top, and maybe you can go for, my wife went for chicken, I went for shrimp, and on the side we had this little plate like this full of soba, that's the noodle kind of thing, and to the side a soup, and to the side one more little bowl with sauce for the soba. You can see this was a big plate, right? So the soup, the sauce, the soba, the bowl of rice. I'm not kidding. Both of us ate for 15 euros. Both of us 15 euros for that whole thing. The shrimp I got, it was two shrimps. It was like this. So from here to here, it was fresh. It was delicious. Amazing. And the second best place was something like that. Similar, it was a don. Only the rice this time, but bigger. Many things. There was a mix of pork and that and the neck and something. The place was really shady. It's like this. In Spain, we call them bar de pueblo. That's like the bar from your small town. So you can think shady. You can think maybe not the cleanest. You can think all those kind of things. Really old couple behind the bar, so really old couple cooking. It was amazing. And again, something like 12-15 euros, both of us. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah. We are lucky. So we Europeans, well, I guess Europeans or US, it's the same. We are lucky on that sense. Japanese people is not lucky. Like, the one side of the picture for us is it's cheap for us, but the main reason is because the yen has really went downhill. So you could think that normally that would cost double the price normally. That's one thing. And the other is there is a lot of inflation going on in Japan. A lot of it. People get paid really, really low. I follow a few people on YouTube. you can look it over. There's a few people who are doing interviews to Japanese people, like native people, and asking about how much they earn, which kind of studies, which job. It is kind of depressing, honestly. They don't earn a lot, and some of them are struggling. So for us, it's really cheap because you combine the inflation, their low salaries, with our good quality of life or good salaries, and when we go there, the nice change, and everything is so freaking cheap. For us. For them, it's not. So yeah. If you're going to visit, it's a good time. That's maybe bottom line. It's a good time. But for them, it's a bit tough. The other good thing, if you're visiting, by the way, not for food. Well, not for food. That's not true. Not for restaurants. Not for things you eat right at the moment. But if you go visit and you buy things, since we are not Japanese and it's not part of the European Union, well, of course, you can get tax exemption. So if you go to the Pokemon Center, not all of them, they have to be part of the program. But if you go to the Pokemon Center, if you go to supermarkets, even like anywhere that they do tax-free, you can get a 5.5% off of everything. So you have the inflation, the pretty really good change for us, and the 5.5% off. And yeah, it's good. It really is good. So if you want to buy Pokemon cards and you can visit personally, like this doesn't work if you buy online, to be clear. But if you can go personally and you want to go to Pokemon Center and go crazy, assuming they have stock, because when I went, there was no stock. So yeah, tough life. You can get pretty good deals. You have to spend more than 50 euros. So that's kind of the rule. If you want the tax exemption, you have to spend more than 50. But it really is worth it. Because then you can get all of these for 5% less, which is, as good as it gets. Yeah. And you can do that for anything. Like I have a few figurines, like the typical things that I got with a discount. I have games for the Switch, discount. I have mangas, discount. So, yeah. We brought a bunch of food. So we bought Kit Kats, Pokis, which is the equivalent of Mikado over there. Really a bunch more of things. All of that also 5%. Yes, it really attracts tourism. there's this big chain. I don't know if you heard of it, but there's this big chain in Japan called Don Quixote. Don't ask. Like, don't ask questions. It's called Don Quixote. Donkey for the friends. So you'll always hear of Donkey over there, but the name is Don Quixote. It's this big retail store. You can think of... There's the mega donkeys. The mega donkeys are... I think the one we went is 9 floors of a huge space. Like, huge. The whole last floor is the tax-free floor. Half of it is queuing to pay. The other half is a bunch of souvenirs and big suitcases for people who bought too many things and need an extra suitcase. That's me. It was full of people. It was full of tourists. Full of it. And trust me, it was a huge floor. Not to say that the whole other floors were also huge, huh? Because everything you buy is tax-free, and not only the last floor. So, yeah. Really crazy. Really crazy. And they know it, of course. I mean, any shop that has the tax-free scheme, you can see they have stickers all over the windows outside, so that tourists can see that they can come in and do that. So definitely, they know what they are doing. They want to change it, by the way. Like, if you want to use it, it's a good moment. The way it works now, you get the 5.5% off immediately. So you go to the shop, you buy more than 50 euros, you go to the cashier and you tell them, I want the tax-free. You have to give them the passport. They scan a QR code that they gave you at the airport, and then you get immediately the 5% off. The only kind of restriction for that, you have to make sure to go through the manual kind of, well, not kind of, but the manual process for the entry in Japan. If you go through the automated machines, you don't get the QR code. But if you go through the manual process, they give you the QR code. And then you immediately get the discount off in shops. What they want to do, and I don't know when, I didn't read any more on that. Probably there's information online. They want to do it like the rest of the world, which basically... No, there's no limit. So within Japan, there is no limit, right? You can buy as many things as you want. You can apply the discount as many times as you want. There is no limit whatsoever. What you do need to take into account is that normally when you go back to your country has limits, right? So your country normally has 2 limits. One limit for tax-free things and one limit for overall things. And that's in euros, right? So you have to look up how much you can bring in without declaring. And it's kind of important, because if you bring more than the limit and you don't declare, well, they could. It's always depending on how lucky you are. I've never been stopped in an airport. I mean, when going out of the airport, not when going in. But when going out, I never got stopped for that. But potentially one of the customs officers could come and stop you and make you open your suitcases. And if you're over the limit, you would have to pay the taxes plus a fine. No, look it up. At least for Belgium, the tax-free part was pretty low. Like, pretty low. It was under 1k. So look it up. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know that Belgium, the tax-free limit was 1k, lower than 1k. So be careful. I don't know, depends on the country, of course, but here in Belgium it's not that high. So yeah, look it up. But so basically, what you have now is you go to the shop and they. Yeah. For cash, probably indeed it is something like that. But what you have to look, what you have to look for is basically importing goods without taxes from the other country. That's what you have to look for. And here in Belgium, it was pretty low, sadly. So you really have to be careful on that side. Then again, you might not be stopped. You might bring 100k in value and not get stopped, and you get away with it, or not, right? We were under the minimum, so I was not worried. Sorry, not the minimum, the maximum. So I was not worried, but you do have to take that into account. But what they want to do now, in the future, they want to do it like the rest of the countries everywhere, where you go to the shop, you buy, and you don't get the 5% off immediately. What you have to do is you have to go to the airport. There is this duty-free, tax-free declaration zone, and you have to go there and you have to get the rebate. So you have to get the money back. It's not a big deal, honestly, because at the end of the day, you're still getting the money back. So you are still getting the same amount back. The only worry at the time was if they would keep it at 5%. If not, if they would make it a bit more restrictive in which kind of products you can or cannot use for the tax-free scheme. So that was the only one thing that was not clear. Because right now, anything goes. Like, everything can be tax-free. You have to be careful. If you buy food, they will put the food inside inside a sealed bag. If you open the sealed bag, then you have to pay the taxes for everything inside. Because you can only get tax-free things if you are not using or consuming them within Japan. So, yeah. But then again, when you go pay at a place, you can, and I did it, you can tell them, all of this is tax-free, put it in the tax-free baggie whatsoever, I won't touch it. All of these I want to eat now, so don't. And they happily do so. So it's not a big deal, as long as you remember not to open the sealed bag, because you could get, I mean, it's not getting in trouble, but you could have to pay it back. There is random controls at the airport. So when you're going back to your country in the Japanese airport, you have to scan the passport, and it tells you if you are okay to go or if you have to go over the control for tax-free. Both my wife and me were okay to go, so I don't know. I think it's random. So. But overall, it's even without the 5%, it's really cheap. If you add the 5% on top, it's insulting almost. I'm not kidding. 151. If they had boxes, because they didn't when I went, but if they had boxes, retail price for that would probably something like 35, 37 at the time with the conversion. And then you add the 5% on top, so you get €2 almost off. So 35 for one of these. Like, it's a complete steal. I wish I could get that now. Yeah, it's a pity. When I went to Japan, I really was not into any of this, right? So I was really not into selling or anything. I barely, like, I was back to Japan made me go back to collecting, basically. So Japan made me go back to collecting. The first Pokemon Center I visited made me go back to collecting. The next 7 or 8 Pokemon centers I visited, because every big city has at least one Pokemon center, normally more than one. Made me go crazy about collecting. But I was not into selling yet, and it's a pity, because I could have gotten many good stuff for really cheap. Oh yeah, if you go there, please let me know, because yeah, you can get good stuff, huh? Please, if you go there, it's too late for me now, but if I go back, PSA, like really, search for PSA. Be careful if you go to small shops that you don't get duped, that you don't get fakes, because yeah, that can happen sadly. But really, search for this. I'm not kidding. They have a local PSA branch now, so there is PSA Japan. They got really cheap shipping to the PSA Japan, and they got really cheap grading. They don't pay 20 to grade a card. So these in Japan are way cheaper than here. Way cheaper. So if you go to Japan and you are into graded cards, please do yourself a favor. Go to Akihabara. Go to, I don't know, if you go to Osaka, there's the, what's it called? I don't remember. There's this big shopping street with plenty of TCG shops. Go in there, look at the prices. I trust me, you'll find good deals, like really good deals. Sadly, I was not into graded cards when I went there. You can see there's a topic here when I'm talking. I went to Japan. I had the best time ever. I was not into collecting fully yet, and I was not into selling. And I'm regretting it big time. Because if you were, like, trust me, you can get really good stuff for cheap. Cheap compared to our prices, huh? Not cheap as in free, of course. But there's many good places to visit. There's many cards shop. There's big ones. You have Mandarake. There's a big, not cards only, but a big merchandising, everything. You have many places that are really good. So yeah. And worst case, you can always order online, because you have things like Card Rush, Yuyutei. I wouldn't, but you have Mercari. You have many places you can order online. And the good thing about Japan, and I'm still amazed by that, and it works really well, you can order from any online site, make it delivered to your hotel, and they will happily, at no cost, hold that for you and give it to you. So it's worth it. At least the hotels we went to, they did. I'm not claiming every hotel will, but the ones we went to, all of them did it. You can send your stuff to the hotel on your name, and they will hold it for you. And when you're back to the hotel, you tell them, this is mine, and all good. So yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. Yeah. We also traveled a lot. We changed hotels many times in Japan. I don't know if it's a mistake. I think I would do it again. But we traveled with our luggage. So we carried the suitcases from hotel to hotel. Which, it's okay. I mean, they were heavy. And you have to plan for it. You cannot take any train with suitcases, because normally you need to reserve space for it. Sometimes for free, sometimes not. But the good thing, when you got to the next hotel, even if it was way before your check-in, all of them, we had zero issues. All of them took care of the suitcases. You gave them the suitcases. no issues. They really took good care of them, so all good. I'm saying I would do it again, maybe not, because really what you can do in Japan, if you plan ahead for it, and if you're going, please look it up. So what you can do is you can arrange for your suitcases to be picked up the night before and delivered to your next hotel the next day. So you have a 1-day delivery from the previous night to the next day for suitcases. And it's not that expensive, trust me. So if you don't want to travel with the whole thing every day or every time you switch, consider that. It's good. It works. It's 1-day delivery. But you have to plan for it because there's this one night where you don't have your things. So you have to plan for the clothes and so. But honestly, you can leave one small suitcase behind and make them pick the 2 or 3 big ones. And it's hotel to hotel. So it really is good. Did you switch to hotel? Did you switch hotels to be near specific spots, or what was the reason? Oh no, I mean, so when we were in one city, we were in one hotel. So within one city, we never really moved hotels. So you can think we went to Tokyo, we stayed 7 days in the same hotel. But the thing is, we went there for 3 weeks. And during these 3 weeks, we went to many places. So we had Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima. I think that was pretty much the big ones. We had one hotel in each. And then, of course, that's basically what I mean when I say moving hotels. I mean basically moving from city to city. So we were in Tokyo, 7 days in the same hotel. Nothing moved from there. Then we took the bullet train, the Shinkansen. We took that to Osaka. Then we stayed for 3 days, I think, in one hotel. Then we went to Kyoto. We stayed, I think, 4 days in one hotel. And that's when we moved. What we did do, by the way, so when we were in Kyoto, we stayed in one hotel, right? But we wanted to do this 2 days trip to the middle of the mountains. There's this Buddhist place in the middle of the mountains near Kyoto. That getting there is not easy. Getting there took us 3 trains, one of these cable cars that goes up the mountain, and one bus. And that day, trust me, you don't want to be going around carrying 5, 4, it doesn't matter, even 2 suitcases. Like, you really don't want to be doing that. So that's the only one day where we kept the hotel in Kyoto. So we kept it for the whole 4 nights. But during one night, we also booked the one hotel over in the mountain. Because, well, we really didn't want to bring everything with us. And that's the only one time that we kind of did this whole thing that we had 2 hotels. No, sorry. We did twice. This was one time. The other time is because we booked kind of a not the word, but high-end hotel for one night. It was in the middle of nowhere also. Well, no, not true. It was in Hakone. It's this volcanic area. We had this nice hot tub thingy. That's the other time we did it. So normally within one city we didn't move things around. And when we wanted to do one big trip or somewhere a bit more, you don't want to be carrying many things, we just booked 2 hotels. You could say it's worth it, you could say not. For us, honestly, it was a lifesaver. I think one night of hotel, if you don't go for really high-end things, goes for 70 to 80 euros. 70 to 80. When you think of a trip to Japan for 3 weeks, it's not really that much capital, right? So we just booked 2 hotels for one night, and that's it. and you don't have to stress, to worry about your things. You know they are safe in the hotel. You know you don't have to carry them. So definitely consider that. For us, it was really worth it. But overall, if you want to move places, maybe look into the basically the normal shipping companies. They also do luggage, and they organize the whole thing with the hotels. So you just tell them this night this hotel to that other hotel the next day, and they handle it. It's worth it. We didn't do it, and you survive. Like, trust me. If you do it with enough time, you can, every Shinkansen, every train, on every car, the front and the bottom rows have space for luggage. But you do need to reserve that in advance. We were booking all tickets as soon as they opened, and that was 1 month before the date. So you want to be booking things quickly. Also, if you want to go see the Mount Fuji, and you want to do so from the nearest towns, the tickets for the train are gone in seconds. We booked tickets for Mount Fuji, and we had to do it 2 separate days. Like booking one day one part of it and booking the other day the other part of it. It was crazy. It was gone in a matter of seconds. The first train there, we couldn't book anything. It was something like 6 a.m. in the morning. It was gone in seconds. We had to book a bit later. So if you want to go to Japan and you want to book trains, especially if you want to book kind of specific trains, like going to Mount Fuji train, you have to be fast. And you have to know when it opens, because it's like 1 month in advance only. How long did your flight take? So, again, here, you have to consider how much you want to pay. Yes, people is fighting to book train tickets. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'll talk about trains in a moment, because trains in Japan, it's a whole thing. But the flight. So you have to consider how much you want to pay. Here in Belgium, we have once a week, not the whole year, but for a good part of it, we have direct flights from the main airport to Narita. Narita is the second airport of Japan. It's a bit farther away. You have Haneda, which is basically inside Tokyo. Narita is a bit farther, but to us it's the only direct connection. And we float direct from Belgium to Japan. That is expensive, but in 13 to 14 hours you are there. So you get on your plane, you get breakfast, dinner, lunch, you get everything. You get there in 13 to 14 hours. It's a long flight. It is a long flight, but it's an amazing flight. We float with ANA, All Nippon Airways. It is an expensive airline, but they treat you really well. Like, everything was free, everything was included. It's good. It's long, but it's good. Thing is, we wanted to make the best of our time, right? If you want cheap, you have many connections, you have many options, but then you lose basically 2 days to go and 2 days to go back. We didn't want that. We wanted to use all the time there. So we took a flight from here to there direct. We landed at 7 in the night over there. We didn't sleep at all at the plane on purpose. So we float direct 13 hours from afternoon to night. We took a train to the hotel, and we slept in the hotel. And that basically meant 1 day of traveling and then whole time in Japan. I had a few friends who did connections. Flight time is not so bad. Flight time is something like 15, 16 hours combined. So it's only 1 or 2 more hours. It's not the end of the world, honestly. Like, it's fine. And you get to rest in between, so it's not bad. The thing is that the connection normally takes a few hours, right? So you fly 7-8 hours, then you have a few hours of layover, and then you have to fly again. And then you do lose a lot of time doing the whole thing. And to me, the other thing is that it probably, quite surely, messes up with your time, right? With your whole sleeping routine. Flying direct already screws with it, because then you have to do the whole 13 hours without sleeping, at least for us, to make it worth. But if you have a layover and you start talking about 18 to 20 hours total, staying awake for the whole thing, and then managing to sleep at the hotel and not screwing your whole schedule, tricky. Quite tricky. So you can do that, but it is tricky. But direct, 14 hours. It's good. I don't know if everywhere has direct flights. For us, it's once a week, and only, I think it starts around March and it goes all the way until, I think, November or so. There is some time where you don't have any direct flights. 14 hours is okay, yeah. I think so. I really think so. It's long, but not long enough to go crazy. So I think it is okay to do 14 hours to get to Japan. It's worth it, if anything. You have to be careful with one thing, because we had the whole thing, like the whole flying and getting to the hotel is tricky, especially if you do Narita, because if you want to book the train in advance, you have to book for some specific time. You don't book a ticket for a whole day and you use it whenever. You book tickets for one time slot. So when you fly there, my recommendation is don't buy it in advance. I didn't. But then take into account something that we didn't. The ticket office closes at 7, I think. We were there like 10 minutes before closing time. So we really were close to getting the last, not the last train, but the last fast train to Tokyo, basically. Fast train meaning it's 40 minutes of train from Narita to Tokyo. If you go by the normal trains, it is closer to an hour and 20 minutes, an hour 30 minutes. So that's something to take into account if you're flying to Narita. Narita is farther away from Tokyo than it seems. You might have to add 1 more hour to your travel time until you are to Tokyo Station. And then from Tokyo Station to wherever you are, well, that's entirely up to you and where you book, but that might take some time also. We booked in Ginza. Ginza is not so far away from Tokyo Station, so we were fine, but you might have to add some more, maybe underground, maybe something more on top of it. So yeah. What I've seen a lot of people do, by the way, and it sometimes is worth it, is flying to Osaka. You have to check it up. For us, it was not worth it. Direct flights to Osaka were not an option, and layover to Osaka was too long and also quite expensive, so it was not worth it. But flying to Osaka, normally it is cheaper, and normally you are already within Osaka. Like you are basically in Osaka. It's the airport is literally inside the city. So maybe it's worth it time-wise. And then what you do is the same. You can do the same route I did. Basically, it's just a bit different. Shinkansen trains are amazing, by the way. Shinkansen trains get you from Tokyo to Hiroshima, which is it's really far away in less than half a day. So you can take Shinkansens. I definitely recommend it. There used to be a pass called JR Pass that goes for Japan Railway Pass. It used to be worth it. So it used to be worth it to take that if you're going to take Shinkansens every few days. They doubled the price and it's not worth it anymore. So don't look into that. Well, maybe look into it, but it definitely, you have to travel every day by train to make it worth, and you probably won't be doing that. But still, the trains are really worth it and are really good and are really on time and fast and everything. But, and it's a really big but, if you are European, which I am, I know, well, I don't know who's looking at on TikTok, but I know you are also leak out on Twitch. You're used to trains being you take a train and that's it. You have the train company here in Belgium. We have SNCV. In France, you have SNCF. In Germany, you have an MBS, right? You have the train company. And that's it. In Japan, you have the Japan Railway East, West, North, South. Each of them is different. Don't be misled by them all being called Japan Railway. You have like 20, 50, 100 private companies that operate trains. And then you have combinations of the company A going through the rails of the company B, meaning you have to pay company A a price for the train, and then you have to pay company B through company A for the, that small part of your travel that goes through company B railway. So it is a fun system. So if you want to travel by train, be prepared to book at many different places and many different companies, and sometimes book only by prepaying some part, and sometimes by prepaying some part and some other part, because, well, not everything goes to one company. So it really is a complex system. And the thing is, once you've survived the booking, which you can survive the booking, trust me, I did. I used like purely lots of Google searching, lots of asking around, but you can. The next thing is, once you are in Japan, make sure you get on the right train. Make sure you get on the train you paid for. Because we're also used to, if you go to the, line, let's say the line that goes to Brussels. It is the line that goes to Brussels, end of story. If you go to Japan, you have the line that goes to Brussels normal, the line that goes to Brussels rapid, the line that goes to Brussels express, you have the rapid express, you have the limited express, you have the rapid limited. I'm not kidding. All these combinations exist. And sometimes your ticket is valid for the normal and the rapid and the express, but it is not valid for the limited, because limited means reserved. And sometimes it's only valid for the normal and the rapid, but not the express. So get on your train, don't get confused. I think they know that it's complex. I think they know that tourists tend to get lost with the whole thing, because normally in at least bigger stations, when a limited train comes, you have the guys over the megaphones blasting at full volume. This is a limited train. You have to get a limited ticket to get in this. You have to pay. You have to reserve. So normally it's fine. But if you are in a town, and we did get a few trains to towns and from towns, then you really have to pay attention to the screens and to make sure you're getting into the right service. Not only line, but the right service. Renfe is fine compared to Japan. So Renfe is the Spanish one. That's fine. The Japanese one is tricky. Now the thing is, even if your ticket covers the normal and the rapid and the express, there's a reason they are called normal, rapid, and express. It's because normally the rapid skips some stops and the express skips even more stops. So even if you can get into those trains because your ticket covers the fare for those trains and you're not getting into troubles for not paying, you might be getting into train that will not stop at the stop that you want to stop. So that's why it's important that you really take a look at can I get into this train? Yes, no. Does this train stop where I want it to stop? Yes or no? So please take care of that. Now, the good part though, Google Maps in Japan is amazing. It knows about all of this and more. So if you are using Google Maps, it will tell you exactly which ones you can get on. I mean, it doesn't know what you paid for. That you have to look for yourself. But it does know which kind of combination you can take. And you know what's best even? And I'm still kind of stunned about the whole thing. If you get into the underground in any major city in Japan, meaning Kyoto, Tokyo, Osaka, doesn't matter, it tells you through which gate you have to get into the metro, like the one on the street. That's fine, right? It does that in every place, so fine. It tells you, and that's the good part, in which car of the train you have to get in so that you get to the closest exit that will get you to the point you want to be. So literally, if I tell them, hey, I want to be in that point of Brussels, let's say, it will tell me, sure, get into the car number 6 of the train, because then you can take the exit number 2 and then the exit number 5 and you'll be where you want with the least amount of walking. So it tells you which car and which door, and I'm not kidding, which car and which door of the train you have to get into to walk the least. It's amazing. Trust me, Google Maps in Japan, it's amazing. It's a whole nother level of planning and getting you to the place you want. It's really good. It really is. There are a few more apps, a few more things you can use. There are a few that are a bit better to get the time schedules, but Google Maps works amazing. It really works amazing. And it makes your life so much simple in Japan. Yeah. If you didn't get yet the whole vibe, I loved Japan. I really did. And I'm counting my days till I can go back. I need to get my little one needs to be a bit older. You know, I wouldn't recommend traveling to Japan with a really, really young kid. I mean, if you go with a really, really small kid to Japan, it kind of sucks because you will not be able to do most of the things. I don't think most of the places we went to are prepared to go with kids, especially if you have to go with a stroller and everything. But mostly because we really liked the exploring temples and going through, you know, this mountain there, like Nikko. I really recommend Nikko. We walked a lot, all of that you cannot do with a really little kid. But aside from that, I want to go back, and I'll go with a kid, with a stroller, and I'll plan a travel that allows me to do so. So it's one of your dreams to visit Japan. Yeah, I get it. Huh? Like for me, it really was. So to put things into perspective, when we were together with my back then girlfriend, sorry, for I think it was somewhere about 7 years of being together. Yeah, I think so. So we were finishing university, college, if you want. And we were already saying to celebrate we finish university, we're going to go to Japan. Shit happens. We couldn't really plan for a good visit to Japan with the money we had. Surprise. So we didn't. So we both started a PhD. And we said, okay, well, then let's do it as a finishing PhD gift. 4 years later, we finished the PhD. And guess what? I finished sooner than my wife. So I start working. So my wife's still doing the PhD. So we cannot go. Then my wife finishes the PhD. But then we're working. So we don't go. We marry and we say, hey, let's do the honeymoon there. But guess what? COVID. So we planned for Japan for so long. It really was a dream of us. Sorry, I have something beeping here on my right. It really was a dream for us. It took us many years of planning and wishing and wanting to go. It was well worth it. It really was worth it. And again, I don't want to hype it. And I have people who've gone to Japan and have told me I don't like it. I respect it. But my opinion, my experience is quite the opposite. This is one of the cases of your mileage may differ, right? So it depends what you go for. It depends what you expect out of it. But you definitely can have a good time. So yeah, good experience for me. One I can recommend, especially if it's your dream. Alright guys, then I think I'll be calling it for today. It's been 3 hours and a half of streaming now. And I have somewhere here on my right, well, not on my right, they have my little one somewhere in there getting ready for the next fit. And since I'm here, I'll help a bit on that. So I think for now, for today, that's it. I'll be here tomorrow though. Tomorrow is Saturday, so tomorrow I stream again. So I'll be streaming again, all of it. So you can find me on Twitch. You can find me on TikTok, on YouTube. Any of that, I'm here. So hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, same leak out. I'm happy that things are looking better for you. I'm really happy that you're getting all of the things back, like car, like going to interviews, that everything's going better. You deserve it. So I'm really glad to know. I'm honest, I was getting worried not seeing you around, and I was wondering what was happening. It's been really nice to chat with you for so long. So hey, thanks for coming by. And yeah, thank you everyone on TikTok also. Lots of people connected from what I see. So hey, thank you for being here. And yeah, do check the website if you want. I have many things on store. So good night and see you tomorrow if you come here. I'll switch to the... I don't have a nice going... Wait, what happened here? Now it's loading. So yeah, this is the starting screen, not the ending stream. But I don't yet have any for that. So nice to see you here. Good night everyone. And see you tomorrow. Bye bye.